People, we all thought that the Reggae Boys would cruise to the World Cup after seeing the group that we got for qualifiers. But Curaçao will pose a serious threat that only Mason Greenwood can nullify and counteract.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
They got Gunnaz podcast.
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dicanio and I am your host, an Arsenal fan that covers everything Reggae Boys and local football. If you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, remember to hit the like button and also help me get to my goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the month by hitting that subscribe button. For the regular viewers, remember every single video I do on this channel must get to 200 likes. So just go ahead and smash that like button. Now in this episode, I'll be talking about Jamaica, right? And our chances coming out of that World Cup qualifier group, specifically with Curaçao, who I believe are underdogs that should not be taken lightly. Now, people, the reason I'm doing this video about World Cup qualifiers that are way on until in September is because I already think that we're out of this Gold Cup. Now, if you guys want to hear more about my thoughts on the Gold Cup, you can go ahead and listen to or watch the video that I posted yesterday about that. I think the thumbnail says not enough and not convincing. So you guys can go ahead and watch that video if you want a bit more in-depth analysis on why I think the Reggae Boys will not make it out of that group. Well, moving forward into the World Cup qualifiers, we were drawn in a group that features Curaçao, Trinidad and Tobago, and Bermuda. Now, off face value, when we hear about these countries don't seem like footballing countries at all. So that was a green flag for us as Reggae Boys fans. We also saw that there were no Central American teams and it was a fully Caribbean group. And Jamaica is the king of the Caribbean, right? So that was also another green flag. But when you look deeper into the underlying stats and you look at these actual teams, I'm not fretting about Trinidad. I'm not fretting about Bermuda. And I wasn't fretting about Curaçao until a few persons actually told me that, like, they put me on game, that Curaçao is actually a very good footballing team. And when you look into the stats and you look into what they have been doing, the project that they've been building, the recruitment that they have been doing, there's someone to be very, very, you have to keep them in the back of your mind, right? Especially after seeing the Reggae Boys perform the way how we performed against Guadeloupe, who is a team that you would say is on the level of a Bermuda or on the level of a Trinidad, right? I think Curaçao is a higher level than Guadeloupe because they have been proving that in this year's staging of the Gold Cup. However, to see us struggle against Guadeloupe really opened my eyes as to why we need to be looking out for Curaçao. Now, Curaçao have been unbeaten in their last 9 games, stretching all the way back until September the 9th, 2024, right? Now, majority of those games have been against Caribbean opponents that are very poor in the lower tier of the Nations League. So they played against St. Martin, they won 4-0. Grenada, they drew that game. They played Grenada again, they went with a 1-1-0. But where it really became a turning point for them was in November of 2024. It seems as if they might have done some recruitment because ever since then, they have been dismantling teams. So they won 5-0 against St. Martin, 4-1 against St. Lucia, 4-0 again against St. Lucia, and the most jaw-dropping one was beating Haiti by 5-1. Now, people, for those of you guys that actually follow Jamaican football or Caribbean football, you guys know that Haiti is not a slouch. Now, if Curaçao is beating Haiti by 5-1, very recently as well, that's just last year, November, that is caused, not last year, November, that's actually this year in June, right? In World Cup qualification, they beat Haiti. So, people, this is a team that we need to take seriously. Remember, Haiti is the same team that came to Jamaica and drew 2 at the National Stadium against us last year. Haiti is the same thing that has been putting in pretty decent performances in the Gold Cup this year. Just to see Curaçao go on this wave of winning matches, it seems as if they did some recruitment and got in some better players because they've been winning games comfortably, right? And if Haiti is not enough to put worry into Reggae Boys fans' minds as it relates to Curaçao beating them 5-1, then you just have to go ahead and look at the Gold Cup. They've played El Salvador in the Gold Cup. They've drawn 0-0. And just yesterday, they played against Canada. Right? Now, that is a game that Canada was expected to run away with, win that game, and then top the group. But Curaso grinded out a 1-1 draw against Canada. So we've seen a trend now. This is a team on the rise. This is a team that is unbeaten in their last 9 games, stretching all the way back to September of last year. And they are not only comfortably beating teams that they should beat, but they are also challenging with the top teams in Concacaf. Now, if we're to just take away the name Curaso out of that, that is exactly what we have been asking for from this Reggae Boyz team that we have not gotten. When we've gotten teams to play that we should be beating comfortably, we struggled against them. Think about the first round of World Cup qualifiers when we had to play Dominica under Coach Al Grimson. We struggled to beat them. Think about St. Vincent just this year, right? We struggled to beat St. Vincent. Think about Dominican Republic. Think about all of those lesser teams. Haiti, the same team that Curaçao beat by 5-1. Think about all of these teams that Jamaica have been facing since as recently as Guadeloupe, that we should or expect to beat comfortably, and I'll be a 1-goal where I win by our odd goal. Curaçao is beating up these teams comfortably, and they will be in our group. And not only are they beating who they should beat comfortably, but they are grinding out our draws and results against the top team in Concacaf in Canada, and a very tough team to beat as well in El Salvador. So Curaçao, people, is no scrub, right? If we want to get out of this World Cup qualifier group, it's not going to be as easy as we all thought it was going to be, especially when I'm looking at these Curaçao fixtures and I've analyzed everything that is going on with them and their program, the recruitment that they've done. They are a growing team and someone that will step on our toe if we're not careful, right? Drawing against Canada in a game that Canada went out to win is not something that we should take lightly, people. And they backed it up with Haiti, and they backed it up with El Salvador. Now, if you're to look at the group that Curaçao is in the Gold Cup, right? Curaçao is now on 2 points after 3 games. After 2 games, we got him draw 2. Canada is on 4 points. Honduras is on 3 points, right? Now, the next fixture that Curaçao has is against Honduras. So all Curaçao has to do to get into the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup is to beat Honduras, people. Or even, no, not draw, but they have to beat Honduras to get in. And based on what we've seen, they are completely capable of doing that. Curaçao has a chance, and they have a chance, and a realistic chance in their own hands, as opposed to Reggae Boyz. Because even if we beat Panama, right, we still have to fret about Guatemala's game to see if we're going to go through. That is not the case for Curaçao. They've done enough from 2 games to make sure that all they have to do is win their last game and they make it into the quarters. They're not fair worry about what our next team are going to do. That alone, and this is a tough group. They have Canada, Honduras, and El Salvador. Those are 3 tough opponents. To see that going into the last game, they still have a fight. And based off their track record, they're going into that game in confidence and they can win, right? It only bodes well for them, and it is very worrying for us. Now, what are we going to do? What recruitment are we going to do to make sure that come World Cup qualifiers, we can beat these teams, especially Curaçao? Because what is my main concern in the people is the fact that Curaçao are beating teams that they should beat comfortably. 4-goal margins, 3-goal margins, 5-goal margins. And Jamaica is not beating teams that we should be beating by that margin, right? Now, if Curaçao can manage to challenge Jamaica and draw the 2 games, it's going to come down to goal difference as to who goes through as the top person and the top contender to go to the World Cup. And based off what we have seen, are we really confident that Jamaica is going to go out there and put 5 past Bermuda in 1 game and 3 again in another game? There's no proof that we're going to do that, because when we face these little teams, we struggle to score, we struggle to take chances, right? But other teams, Guatemala, in the past round, had a higher goal difference than Jamaica. Curaçao is capable of having a higher goal difference than Jamaica. because for some reason they have a system in place that allows them to win comfortably when they play against lesser teams, and their system also allows them to play well against top tier teams. Now, the only thing I can say is that is going to put me in a more comfortable frame of mind is getting in Mason Greenwood, getting in those players that I heard got their passports, right? Here, so we have a new left back coming. Everybody already know about Lewis Baker in the midfield. That should strengthen it. Hopefully, Ravel is going to be back in the team then as well. So our midfield core is going to be looking stronger. Bobby should stay fit. Isaac Hayden should be back. So that midfield core is very, very good. We're looking at Isaac Hayden, a Bobby Reed, a Jonathan Russell, a Casey Palmer, right? A Lewis Baker, a Ravel Morrison. That is a very solid midfield. And then we have attackers as well, who I'm hearing had their passports and are set to come. Now, Mason Greenwood, we all know the situation with him and Mason Greenwood. It's just a matter of when he decides to play. But I am now putting pressure on Mason Greenwood and his camp. You don't feel like, say, we are going to struggle and go through World Cup qualifiers and you just have to come and just play for World Cup, brother. You need to forward and help the side cement them spot in the World Cup. You need to forward and make sure that you're here and ready and available for September. See? The fans them depend on it. We don't want you to just walk in at the side after we make it to World Cup. See? We want you to be here a part of the process and help the team to qualify. Because looking at that team that we played, Leon Bailey himself said it. We have a lot of work to do. We are not beating teams comfortably that we should be beating comfortably, and that is very concerning. Going into a group where goal difference is going to be the be-all or end-all as to whether we go to the World Cup. No, the reason I'm saying we need Mason Greenwood is because I believe Mason Greenwood is someone that pulls a rabbit out of a hat. Mason Greenwood is someone that even if Jamaica is not playing, he will score a brace. If we're not playing a ball, he will score a goal, a long ranger, a poacher's finish, a cut in and fire. He has that X factor. He is that quality. He is that main man that will take the team on his back and dump up teams, right? And that is the only savior that I can see. Otherwise, if we're going to get a Mason Greenwood, or if other recruitment not come in, or we're going to do the adequate recruitment for other players to come in, then it's going to be a very, very worrying campaign, right? I'm just want to raise this awareness because I was one of those fans, so I'm going to be very honest, that was writing off the group. When I see Birmingham, I see Curaso, and I see Trinidad, I say, yeah, man, walk in the park, soup, like where Oral Tracy himself said. But after looking into this, and we're looking at Curaçao, we're looking at their progression, 9 games unbeaten, beating teams that they should be beating comfortably by 4 goal margins, 5 goal margins. And they're also competing and still not losing against teams that we are saying are the best in Concacaf, like Canada. Then that is cause for concern, people. They don't let in a lot, they score a lot, and if they can't win a game, they get a draw. That is what we have always been asking this Jamaica team to be. And for some reason, we cannot be that. And that is Curaçao. So people, heading into the World Cup qualifier campaign, make sure you're forward at the national stadium and support the team. Make sure they don't underestimate the team that is Curaçao. Not a problem, because you know me as a man, I'm going to give respect to certain side like Trinidad or Bermuda. But after looking into the statistics of Curaçao, we have to give them their respect. We have to take them seriously. We have to understand that it's not Jamaica alone that is recruiting. Other teams are recruiting and other teams are doing better systematically and tactically to be getting results, both against teams that they should be beating and against teams that they would love to compete with in Canada, USA, Honduras, El Salvador, and such. So people, share your thoughts below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about everything that I just shared. Are you still going to be thinking that we should walk through this group, or do you think we should really, really focus on our recruitment? I don't think we're going to fire the coach, people, even if we do drop out a Gold Cup. If you go ahead and watch the Rudolph Speid interview that I did before the Messi game, you can go ahead and watch it on the channel. I asked him about Steve McLaren's appointment, and he said that, hey, his goal is to reach the World Cup. So if he falls out of the Nation League or if he falls out of the Gold Cup, it doesn't matter, because that is not the job that we gave him to do. He can use the Gold Cup as preparation. He can use the Gold Cup to make the mistakes but we hired him to get us to the World Cup. So people, I see a lot of people saying fire Steve McLaren. And yeah, in an ideal world, I would say if him drop out of World Cup, we will fire him. But Rudolph Speid and his technical committee are the ones who hired him. And based off of what Rudolph Speid said to me in that interview, he's not going to fire the man. They hired him to get us to the World Cup, and that is what they're gonna die on, right? So we just have to support the team. But let me know again in the comment section, people. What do you guys think? Are you guys thinking about Curaso? Are we going to clamp down and really make recruitment so that we can cement these victories in World Cup qualifying? And also, if you think that we can make it out of that World Cup group, share it in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
They got Gunnaz podcast.